Welcome back to the Let's Make Xanathar video series for creating beholders and beholder kit, monster kit. This is going to get into the next phase, which is bringing our speed sculpt of the Xanathar beholder model into Unreal Engine. And we're going to do a light test and look into all the other types of beholders that exist in the Dungeons and Dragons multiverse. And there's some really fun ones. So once we have the kit built, we're going to explore Elder Orb, Hive Mother. I don't know about the goofy ones. um, but definitely, yeah, some spiky, more chitinous ones, some more tentacled, kind of squishy looking one. That one's pretty cool. I like that one a lot too. Um, yeah, and over the years, the old originals, pay some homage there. I like this one too. It's a good old original pen and ink. And I think these are the first two I remember. That one's even before my time. Is the old Gygax drawing. I forget, or Arneson. I forget which one drew that. And then, but here's the old pen and ink I remember from the first Monster Manual. So yeah, these we're kind of hybridizing the design between the Lords of Waterdeep cover and the new Universal Studios more kid-friendly version of Xanathar. So I think we're just about there. This is what we came up with currently, and I have this dropped into Unreal Engine, so we're going to um, take a peek at the next steps in the process, which were to take the model, and I went ahead and took the eye stalks and um, positioned them in Maya. Uh, the triangulation is a bit intense. As you see the cobwebs here, this is 300,000. So I think when I added all these guys together, it was upwards of 800,000 triangles. It was a lot. It'd be like an 80 megabyte file. So what I did was I took that model and I um, went ahead and did a symmetry on it with just the body and the tongue, just so I could get a symmetry line down the middle. So that one I did as a mesh retopologize here using symmetry on object X left to right. So there's a bunch of retopology tools available. I'm just using Maya. I know it's not free. It's free if you have a .edu license for students. But you can see my seam right here, though. It just made UV mapping it really easy. So I just grabbed that seam and then down the center, and then made sure that we don't have a seam in the middle of the face. So if I, um, let's see here, if I get in here and took away the edges in the front of the face there, right, and then left the seams out the back, I just did a really quick cut on the UV seams here. So I did a lot of Shift X to cut, and then did after that I would go to the faces, grab the whole faces, and just do the unfold, Control U. So I did that with each of the eye stalks. So I went fast and just kind of picked an edge that I thought was best. I see they're not perfectly retopologized, right? There's some zigzags in there, but definitely good enough. Like that's gonna hold up okay. Also, the tongue when I did the resymmetry, it did make this tongue centered instead of the more interesting kind of curved to the side tongue that I had before. But for the speed of this, I'm just doing a quick kind of look test, so to speak. So I think for the essence of speed, I think this works out well. I then went into grabbed all the UV shells and grabbed them all and just did a Control L that packs them all in there, and I moved around a little bit. So here's all the individual eyes in the eye stalk. Here's the big main central eye right here. Is this one? Is it this one? Yeah, that's the back of the eye. That's the front of the eye. And I can always kind of recheck those. The UV toolkit here. There we go. You see it got a little squish. I'm not telling if you don't tell. And I didn't do the teeth and all that. That would be the next phase. That would be what we do here for the model kit, right? So for the model kit, we're going to eventually get back in here and I'm going to use just a sphere, a simple sphere, cut an eye in there, cut a mouth, really super low poly, right? Make a tongue base kit, make a set of gums here by themselves. There's the gums, right? Something we can sculpt that has enough edge loops to hold up, inserting some holes in there and whatnot. And then individual teeth like these ones here, then you can put a different texture map, and then I can really play with the shapes of the teeth. Likewise, the eye stalk. Here's the hinged one that has kind of um, areas where it's bending in the socket joints, so to speak, with a little open eye socket in there, really low poly. But there's this starter cylinder. So this kit here is going to be uber easy to make once we've done all this design work and we've kind of decided, what we're going to make. I then go back, I make the model kit. I could retopo this, right? But if I want to make like 30 different beholders, this is the way to go in my estimation. And then I can go in here and I can sculpt individual, give you a model kit just of eyeballs, of stalks, of body types, of different teeth and different tongues. And that I think will give us the fun variety that we see in here from all the different artists over, 30 years of beholders. I think it's closer to 40 years. What am I doing my math right? Yeah, that's crazy. 50? It's getting up there. 50 years? Yeah, there's an underwater angler one too. I'll do that one as well. It's really cool. Okay, so let's also add materials to each of these pieces that we want to put a material on. Some material ID in here. I just made a blend material in here and I named it. So I have the eyes main. That's this one here. So you can just go to the faces, double click, that'll grab all of them. Right click, assign material to selection. So the eyes for the material for the main eye. I want the glowing eyes from the eye sockets. I like the way that these ones glow just real subtly, so I can do that very easily in Unreal Engine. And then I did one for the tongue. You see he's got like a little more fleshy purpley color there. And I did another blue for the main body and the stalks. And I have the tissue here if I wanted to paint in some of the eyelid tissue around or the gums. And I would do another one for the teeth eventually, but for now, this is going to be good enough to load into Unreal Engine. So once I do that, you want to make sure whatever you're playing around with in here, let me go ahead and close these out. UVs are ready to go. If I am ready to on this, actually, now's a good time to do this. Whoa, be careful I don't crash my computer. There we go. Yeah, you want to take all those and from the tools, modify, see textures, image, UV snapshot. There we go. And I'll do 2048 by 24. I could do 4096 by 4096, but no need to get greedy. UV remesh. And let's see, we'll do remesh 02. And hit apply and close. There we go. And there's our remesh. Looks pretty sick. I'm excited to paint this thing already. Even though this isn't the final model, it'll be good enough. It's super high poly, though. It's like 300,000, something like that. So, but yeah, that's going to be incredibly fun. So I'm going to take that back over into my source images folder, and we will open that up with Photoshop. We'll give it a quick paint job. I'll do that in the next video though. I had some earlier ones I did that were really kind of cheeseball. I was just going really fast on the color palette in there, and I think this one is maybe one step further. It was like desaturating, but just getting a basic texture map on the Sculpt GL, right? So we're just in Sculpt GL doing this, and here's the earlier video, right? Kind of seeing what the paint job looked like early on. So this guy's ready to go. Let's go ahead and go File and Export Selection, and we export him as an FBX, and it'll go Beholder Xanathar the second. There we go, into my Scenes folder. Make sure that everything is turned off here. We don't with geometry on, animations off, cameras off, lights off, audio off. Embed media is on to embed the materials that we made for the texture map. So go ahead and export that because we want these UV slots to be, or I'm sorry, material slots to be created for the materials in Unreal Engine, right? So let's go over into Unreal Engine. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. So over in Unreal, what I used was the cave ruins. So if you wanted to, and the deep elder caves, they were free at one point. This one's 3 GB. Just typed in cave here. I'll show you what it is in the Fab store if you wanted to go into Fab. You can check those out. So there's two of them. So uh, this one is just putting some materials that I found in the caves. I just put some coral texture on there and did something fun with the eyeball. This one's got like a swamp water texture on it, but this is the Elder Cave sample, which is really quite badass. I like it a lot. Just go in here and type in, I think Elder Cave, Deep Elder Cave. There we go. And yeah, it's now about $80. It was free, but it's got a great, I think, lighting solution that comes with it. So I was really impressed with that, and it has a wonderful model kit of parts. So I think it's worth the $80, $100 if anyone is thinking of getting that. And the other one we have is the, let's see, here we go, is the cave ruins here, which is really simple, incredibly simple model kit. So there's not much going on there. I don't know if it's still free. It might be, but it has like some simple little candle lit areas and has a little underground set of buildings. If you're thinking of like Petra or the Anasazi or something advanced like that, it's pretty awesome. So we dropped them into there. So I just made a folder for myself in here, and this is the first one I did. So before I started recording, I was a little out of it in the recording started doing. I just did a body and a so I had two materials for that one. So this one I'm going to have two different materials. And this could take a second to load because it is a large file, a single FBX this big. So here's my beholder Xanathar. Yeah, it's 14, 15 megabytes, not too bad, but I'll just drag and drop them into Unreal Engine and give it a moment. Let's see if I need to pause or not. Looks like everything's good to go. I just hit import. It's just a static mesh. There's no rigging information there yet, but you'll see now I have extra material slots created that were not there before. You see it keeps on adding. There it goes. There's a static mesh. Cool. So now we have um, still kept the material body stocks and standard surface. So now we've added the main eye stock. We added the glow one. We've added the material for the body stock so I can, I'll just hit save all real quick. Make sure that in case something happens, you never know. So I have two versions of the same project open in Unreal. You can do that on Windows. I'll just double click that for the body, and for each of the materials now I can go into where I picked the materials prior, but I think the glow one here for the eyes isn't going to be anything fancy. I'll just go in here right away and let's see what it made. So did I make a fawn? Oh, it is. It has changed. It is having a emissive color now. Look at that. I'll be darned. So it is actually glowing a little bit. I think if I wanted to be brighter, I could, but it did bring in the blend through the FPX. I'll be darned. So this is a little bit new for me. I didn't know it would actually bring in the or Fong, MF Fong to metal roughness, I guess. So for all of these, I'm just gonna leave that one, I guess. Cool. Surprise, surprise. For the body, I had the coral one. I had this one here that I did the coral texture. There's corals right here. And materials. So some coral rock. Here's a sea bottom. That was pretty badass. So take the coral bottom. I'll put that on the body. Use that one. Yeah, nice. Not perfect, but I like it. Um, Squishy skin. Wasn't entirely sure, so I'd have to kind of see what I did for a couple of these other ones. But here's the bark one that I got. So I just go here to the materials inside of the cave ruins. Some foam materials for the bark, and I'll put that on the tongue tissue. Yeah, all right. Good enough for now. And for the eyeball, I could go with the same glowing orange. I tried like the fire one, and it had like some animation on there that was making it really kind of move all over the place. I guess yeah, it has to have a play in there, but I think I'll leave the bark in there for now. I'll just use that one, and then hopefully the eyes glow at least a little bit in there. So we can go back over here to where I had flat stuff. I just named my own folder for my stuff. There we go. Should be good enough. So let me save that. And I went into the cave section here and I just found a little main area here that had a lot of candles with a bunch of point lights. And they're animated. There's a little flicker going on, which I thought was fun. And then we'll drop in our new one here, Xanathar 2. And you see he's not that much different than this one, except for the eye stalks, which the eyes had the same coral material on the skin as the other one. So if I go down here, now this one's eyes actually glow. This makes it a little bit more awesome. There we go. And I was just playing with the size of these beholders. If there's a hive of them, doing like a gathering of beholders. And then you hit G for game mode. That gets rid of a lot of the user interface. And then you hit F11, and that will full screen for you. So if I click back on this one, I can use the spacebar, I can filter back through, and I can make this guy here, whoops, the king of this particular group of beholders. And certainly play around with the layout and composition for a theme, but whoa. But yeah, without the light right under him, he's not quite as lit. Let's see if I can back him up some. And maybe coming up from the top. There we go. And make him a little bit bigger even. Whoops. Gotta make sure I get on all three axes. There we go. This little square. And yeah, just play around with having a variety of these. Now, if I wanted to put a light source on the end of each light, I could, but I think that's going to be pretty killer for now. I like it. Let me hit F11 again. Go out of full screen mode. These modes are up in here. Immersive modes. F11G is game mode. That turns off all of your icons. So that's when you're in dev mode, right? You want to see all your actors in there. So we'll save all for this one, which should update, I hope, in the other project I have open. It's been a minute. Yeah, there we go. So let's close that one out. We'll come back over here. This is the Elder Cave level. This is just really cool. I love what they did with this. Go give them a few bucks. Go buy this one if you can. But yeah, it has the big what do you call it? A cavernous ceiling. It has some good shafts of light coming in. So let's drop this character in there, and then make sure he's facing the right direction, and make him nice and big. He would be the hive mother overlooking. There we go. It doesn't have the spotlight on their faces the way the others, but I can play around with this composition as well. It's got a nice animation. I'll turn on game mode here in just a moment and have him looking down as well. And down. And you can really play with the spotlights that I have in here. So this one, if I hit game mode, you see they have some kind of bobble, some pop-ups going on. It's definitely chose to take those out. And F11, there we go. And then I can kind of play around with this composition as well. Bring it down. And I think having the middle eye glow is going to be more interesting. So for the big main eye material, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to grab all of these and delete it. I'm going to hit F3. I'm sorry, number 3, and click on the keyboard. That gives me a material constant vector 3. And then I can click in this black space here and we can give them a nice kind of yellowish, orangish eye color variant. There we go. And I can go back into this model here and we can place that main eye material inside the proper slot, which is named eye small, eye see bottom, see element 1, bark looks like, I renamed element 3. Thought I would keep the names on there. Guess not. Let's see if that's the eye. That is the eye. Cool. And yeah, there's a little bit of sculpting detail on there that came through. Not a great amount, but better than nothing. And let's give it a glow as well. So over here on the emissive color. So I'm going to do another 3 and we'll drop it into the emissive color. There we go. And double click there and we'll go like really bright yellow orange. There we go. And I wonder if I go over here, if there's a way RGB, if there was a way to blow it out. I thought we did. If like 222, something like that, or even like 555. See if that glows or not. And give this eye like a little beam. There we go. Yeah, that's what we want. Um, and I'm sure that the bloom and I'm doing it wrong. I'm blowing out past 1. But for my quick test for what I want, I'm happy. So there we go. So I have the animation playing. I have F11, G, and for my quick light and color test on our beholders, I think that turned out pretty good. We can now make our entire hive of beholders from the different types from the pure ref plate that I showed you. I think that's going to come out really fun too. I can put this guy up here. He's got the murky water texture blowing through, casting some fun shadows. And it's all real time, it's no pre-renders. So we live in the real time future. So fun. And I think I'll do a screen cap from there. Let's see, what's my screen cap? Is it F12 on the keyboard, I believe? Let me go in here, hit escape so I have nothing selected. Hit F12. No, F10? F9. F9. Screen capture. There we go. And I get a high resolution screen cap. You can see that is a full 3845 by 2160. And now I have a much better image to show off my beholders than the prior. All right, that's it for this one. I will see you all in the next video where we're going to go back into the model kit. I might do a quick texture paint. I think I'd rather do the model kits now and texture paint the real thing. So we're going to go do those real simple models and see if we can make 30 different beholders. No, I don't know how many. As many as I can make within the time that I have. And then we'll do a model kit and make a beholder dwelling. We'll do some spherical caves and make a model kit for that. And give them some intellect devours. We'll do some mind flayers, some elithids, and we'll really kind of pump up the model kits for making your own Underdark environment adventure. We'll definitely finish off the World of Mush. We'll do some more mushroom, myconid, mycozoid characters, and do the finish the mush creature character, the mushroom queen. All right, I'm excited to do the next ones. I hope you join me for the next series. I'll do some live broadcasts as well. If you send me a message, give me a like. go check out the playlist, save the playlist, and it will definitely help motivate me to get more of these done, and we can interact. I'll put out the Discord channel as well. All right, we'll see you in the next video.